And more and more people are on Facebook talking about it. I have my own relatives saying that they're leaving the United States. But I'm telling you, every election people are saying, I'm leaving the United States, but they never do. But now the Google Trends, the searches of people searching other countries to live in is going crazy. It's like I see it all the time. I'm leaving the United States. I'm leaving the United States. I'm going here. I'm going there. Like, everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side.
Okay, let's have a quick time out here.
All right.
You've come from other countries.
I've come from other countries.
Oh, and you still you travel a lot.
I travel a lot. I was born in Canada.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, but you've been to, say, Greece.
Yeah,
Italy. You've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere.
Now, and I'm going to just ask you, even though I'm like flipping the script on you here, would you ever leave this place? No, you wouldn't.
I would not. I personally would. Listen, I own property in Greece, actually. I do.
I mean,
I own property. I have a house
go
there.
for a month or two.
Yeah, I'm going to go there more and more, especially now that I'm retiring. I'm going to be in Greece more and more. But yes, I would not leave the United States. I'll say that up front. And I'll even go more specific. I will not leave Florida.
Neither will. You know what? Now, this is really funny that because you mentioned Florida. And I was thinking about this on the drive over, not trying to change the subject, but in the last, I've been here 2 years now, and then I noticed a change in myself. In the last couple of weeks, like, I've really gotten to like this place. Like, I used to love Los Angeles. Like, Los Angeles to me is like the top of the mountain.
Right.
And then I've really come to be like, wow, this place is like all that and then more.
So what I did is, towards the end, I'm going to tell you guys, why I'm staying in Florida, and I'll tell you why the United States does have some benefits. And we'll talk a little bit about political, but it's not going to be a political video. And in the meantime, do me a favor. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. But here's the subjects we're going to be talking about. So we're going to break it down.
Okay.
We're going to break it down into economic and financial reasons.
For leaving the country.
Okay. Or quality of life and lifestyles. We're going to talk about that. Political and social reasons. So we are going to get into political and social reasons why people are saying that. Legal and immigration factors, and personal and cultural reasons.
Okay.
So I actually broke it down into reasons, and what I did is I went to different sites, I went to different services. I actually talked to a few people that are leaving the country or already left. And I reached out to them. Like, me and you have friends, like, that live overseas.
Yeah, I do. I have a couple of two.
So we're going to talk about that. And you guys comment below saying, hey, you know what? Is it time to leave the United States? Okay. And a lot of people are going to talk about, political stuff. But let's talk about the first one, economic and financial reasons. High cost of living, rising housing, food, and healthcare costs make more countries other affordable. Okay. That's a true statement. Like, I have a friend that's moving to Belize.
Okay. Yeah. Belize is expensive, though.
I guess where he's going is a lot cheaper than where he's coming from.
It could be, yeah.
From
definitely.
New Hampshire. So, but there's other countries that, in South America, like, in Asia, people go to some countries.
Well, they'll go to like the Philippines, Vietnam, very cheap. Like I have friends, personal friends, who retired as like they might have got out of the military or firemen or cops, and they're single or whatever, and they travel, do what they want, and they've moved to Vietnam and the Philippines because and they always asking me, come on down, spend a couple of weeks, because they can get on the beach, a killer condo for $400 to $600 a month.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and they said when they go out to eat, they're they can eat forget it, all day long on like $4, and that includes an enormous tip in the $4.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
So here's something: expensive healthcare. Many countries offer universal and lower cost healthcare. So me and Ange know somebody that had to do
dental work.
Okay, and over here he was in pain, and the dental work was $8,000 to $9,000.
With his insurance, he had to pay.
Yeah, with his insurance, it's still $8,000 to $9,000.
Yeah.
So he flew to South America, okay, and he got all the work done plus some for like $500. The tickets were like $250 a piece.
Yeah, I know the airfare was dirt cheap.
Yeah, and then he got the same $8,000. He paid $500. So I said, "Oh, did you go to some alleyway and open up a door?" And
No, they're cutting edge.
No, he says it was like Beverly Hills kind of
Yeah,
care.
they're cutting edge. They like. Here's the thing: most people don't realize. Like in America, say you got to take penicillin, right? And you go to get it at the drugstore, and the penicillin, we'll just say one pill. One pill could cost, let's say $10.
Right.
Right, and it's the truth. Now you go to some South American country, or even Germany, Russia, wherever, and that same penicillin from that same like manufacturer of it is like 10 cents. I mean, I'm being very crazy here with the prices, but it's much cheaper to do things.
My cousins up in Canada can't believe what we're paying, and for some medicines. And not only can't they believe what we're paying, and I know that you're going to say, well, Canadian government subsidizes everything because of their high taxes, and that's true. But a lot of things they don't need prescriptions for that we do.
Yeah.
You have to admit the medical system in the United States is one big racket.
Well, it's the insurance racket. It's not even the hospitals. It's the insurance companies, because they basically own the hospitals.
Right. Like I went for a colonoscopy, a year and a half ago, and they literally billed the insurance company like $14,000.
I know. I had insurance. I
was like, come on.
I had insurance a while back, and I went to the dermatologist. And after insurance paid, they told me I still owed the doctor $250. And the only reason why I went to dermatologist was I had a blister over here, and because it's like the palm, it wouldn't heal because I kept, hitting and doing stuff. And so he was like, yeah, I'll give you some cream and whatever. I swear to God, I was in the place for 30 seconds. And my insurance company was billed like $900, and I had to still kick in another $250.
All right. How about this one? High taxes. Some Americans see countries with lower taxes or better tax benefits. It's true.
But what do you mean on taxes? Meaning like property
Everything.
taxes?
Yeah,
or?
Property taxes, income taxes, just taxes. No matter what we do here in the United States, we're getting taxed.
True, but people go about things in America like almost the wrong way. Because like everyone should be a corporation. Like you work for a company and you get your W-2 and it's all these taxes taken out. If you were a corporation and you just got say it was $1,000 a week, flat, nothing taken out, that's what they handed you. And every quarter or at the end of the year, you'd get so many more write-offs and you'd make so much more money.
You know what? It gets complicated. The tax code is so complicated here. I'm a believer in the flat tax system or a universal sales tax. And we're going to do a video on that too. Because I think, there's a tax on everything. No matter what you do, there's a tax on it. And I think that should be like...
And it's a tax on a tax. Because the company has already paid a tax on whatever
dying,
they got.
A
death tax.
It's a death tax, You can't even die without getting taxed.
Yeah.
So taxes, retirement affordability. Places like Mexico, Portugal, Thailand offer lower cost of living for retirees.
But I wouldn't even go to Mexico for a vacation.
No.
But like Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, places like that.
You can live off your Social Security.
And still have a lot of money left to your name.
I know a couple of people that do that.
Yep, and still have a lot of money, yeah.
Jobs and business opportunities. Some industries digital people that work from their laptops, they could just go and get American pay and live someplace else.
I work with a guy, we work here in America, and I just did a show not too long ago with a guy, and he was in Australia, because it's all remote. And they're I forget how many hour difference. So our day is now it's their night or something. But he used to start he used to work our time, but for him it was 5 a.m. or something like that the next day.
Let's talk about quality of life and lifestyles. Better work-life balance. Many countries prioritize shorter work weeks and longer vacations. So let me talk about that. When I'm in Greece, literally everybody's like, all right, we're gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, the whole country shuts down.
A 2 o'clock nap. Okay, we'll go have our coffee and we'll take a nap.
But there's a backstory to that too.
All right, but also in California, in certain areas of California, I was there and they're like, Why isn't anybody here serving drinks? Well, there's a big surf, because I was on.
Oh yeah, right. Everyone's out in the water. They're doing their thing. Like it's the siesta time, and it's like go do whatever you want to do for 2 or 3 hours.
But we don't have a siesta time in the United States. It's like work, and then work 5 days or work 6 days a week. Kill yourself, then do chores on your day off. Maybe you have a few hours.
But see, here's the thing. Like, let's take Greece, because you know about Greece. And yeah, in Greece, everyone stops. I mean, they do pick up they eat dinner very late there.
Yeah, it's 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like very late because of that break in the time. But let's talk about Greece's economy. Like, it's been crap. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with that.
Because there's nobody producing.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody, there's a lot of tax fraud going on there.
The place, and I don't want to. I'm not making fun of Greece at all, because that goes on everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like in all the other countries.
Yeah,
too.
I'll tell you a funny story about Greece. So basically, I was in Athens, and I was talking to this Greek guy, and you get taxed for each swimming pool, in people's backyard. If you have a swimming pool in your backyard, you're going to get taxed for it. So if you do a satellite view from the top, pretty much every house has a swimming pool. Mm-hmm. But on their tax base, they're like, only 100 houses out of 50,000 houses have swimming pools. And they count 50,000 swimming pools. So they go up to the people and they say, hey, you're not paying taxes for your swimming pool. He goes, what are you talking about? It was just a hole in the ground and it rained. It filled up. They'll say anything to avoid taxes, But yeah, but at the end of the day, I understand if you want a balanced life, the other countries are more relaxed and more laid back than we are.
They are, but the people also have less. Like, put it this way, this is the only country, America is the only country in the world that if everyone's given a fair shake, and I know people are going to freak out on me right now and say that's BS, but no, it is, because there's nothing here stopping you, like, from inventing something or creating something or selling something or becoming a thousandaire, a millionaire, a billionaire, and hopefully someone will be a trillionaire, and it's like, but if you were to go to, say, Russia, they could just take everything you have, and they've done it in the past,
It's true. Okay, less stressful lifestyle, slower pace of living in some other countries. We have a very stressful lifestyle on average.
But, okay, see, I don't personally.
Well, I don't right now.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's very.
I used to.
I can't even really put it. And I get it. I understand, because I'm taking the word stress in a different meaning than like what you're actually asking here, because like I would go to work. I could be at work like all week long, in the studio 20 hours a day.
You enjoy that stuff.
Exactly, and that's why I wouldn't be stressed. Where like, put it this way, if I was building houses and I could be like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I'm stressed out, I can't pay the bills.
But the whole thing, that's the whole thing is a lot of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck, and it's stressful. Like, okay, I just paid the electric bill, and now I got to pay the water bill, and I got to figure out how to pay the electric bill next month.
Yeah,
so
and I get that.
It's a stressful thing. A lot of people are leaving the United States because climate preferences. Some want to escape the crazy weather that we have here. Some areas just have better weather.
Now that's a hard one for me to really wrap my head around, because I know, like, say you go to the Philippines and all the places, they get typhoons and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
if you go to Russia, it's going to be freezing 10 months out of the year So it's really like, where is a perfect place? I mean, I don't know. Who has a beautiful climate all year round? San Diego. As far as I know.
Yeah, I know. But that's the United States. Well, let me combine two more. I'll combine two of them. More affordable housing, which is true. There's other countries that have way more affordable housing.
Definitely.
And healthier environment, lower pollution levels, and better quality of food. So
they don't have all the preservatives and junk like that. Like, you go to some places, a McDonald's doesn't even exist,
Well, yeah. I mean, like, South America, places in Greece, like, if you want bread, you're going to go in the morning and go get the bread. And the next day you're going to go get the bread. Over here, you go to the supermarket, you get bread, and it'll be good for the next 2 weeks.
Exactly. Like, read the date on white bread. Like, expires on, and it's like, today's March 1st. It expires on March 29th.
Like I'm looking at stuff. When you go to Europe in some areas,
it's good for the day.
Yeah, it's good for the day. And the other thing, too, is it's healthier in a sense, because they don't serve you a plate that's like this huge, like a huge plate,
No, it's crazy.
It's smaller.
I always say, like, people always used to make fun of me because, like, I don't cook. Right? I don't eat in the house. Like, I always eat out. So I used to make the joke all the time back in LA, like, I eat like the French. Because the French do exactly what you're saying. They go out and they shop for, they're going to make a salad tonight, and they want to cook a fish and whatever. So they go get the piece of fish, they get the lettuce, the tomato, and they make it all for that night. And then the next day they do it all over. Except my thing was, I'm going to Subway, and then I'm going to go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, because but look at that's why that's why a lot of Americans are overweight. I'm not saying we're not.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
All right, let's touch third rail right now. We're going to go to the third rail. Political and social reasons. Political division. Some are frustrated with the increase in political polarization.
Yeah, but I get that, but that is so stupid.
Yeah, because the whole thing is, like, I know so many people are saying Trump is in the office, so I'm leaving the United States, but he's going to be out within, less than 4 years. He's going to be out, and it might be somebody you're into, So
that's why things change.
Things change fast,
so,
It's not like it's going to be a.
It's not the one thing you don't want is one party rule forever.
No, but it was one party rule for a very long time.
Yeah.
It was as president, Democratic.
Yeah, they think about it. In the last X amount of years, it went from you had Clinton for 8 years, you had Obama for 8 years, you only had Biden for 4. You had Bush and Reagan both had 8 years. Now, Trump is getting 8, but he's getting them divided. There's not the list of presidents who have had 2 terms is very small.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about this one? People saying leaving the United States is concerns about safety, crime, mass shootings, social unrest push some to look elsewhere. But listen, there's crime everywhere,
and even worse in foreign
and
countries.
then if you look at Florida, and people talk about Florida like, oh my God, everybody carries a gun in Florida, or it's dangerous in Florida. At least everywhere I go, I feel fine.
So do I. I don't think. What's funny? I can tell because I can see the printing when someone's got a gun on them, and it's usually like older men. Much older, like 60s or 70s. I don't really see anybody. You see the print. You can see it on the side of the shirt. You know what I'm saying? You can see the handle kind of sticking out because they got the sweatshirt over or something. You start to get used to seeing things like that. But it's not like anyone's allowed to carry pretty much in Florida as long as
you're not a criminal.
Criminal
there's
felonies.
There's rules.
Yeah, there are rules.
Yeah, they follow the rules.
But what I'm saying, but there's a lot of people in Florida who can carry, and the majority of the people you and me aren't carrying a gun. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just like there's, and that's most people.
Well, here's my reasons behind it. If you're carrying, you better be willing to use it.
Exactly, especially if you're going to pull it out.
Yeah, if you're going to pull it out, you better plan on. I'm not saying to use it, but I mean, like,
it better be a damn good reason you're doing this.
Yeah, because
it's 15 seconds or 10 seconds will change.
And I'm not against guns, okay?
Yeah,
trust me on that one.
No, but the thing is, what I do think is that, like, I'm totally for anyone, for people to own firearms within the law, meaning like you're not a convicted felon for all this stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
But the thing too is, it's like I'm a big believer in, like, it should be mandatory that anyone who goes to buy a gun has to take a class.
A safety class.
Yeah, safety class.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people that, and it's just not Florida, it's pretty much any state you go to, that they can go and they can buy. And I mean, you shouldn't have to say you buy 10 guns over the course of your lifetime. You shouldn't have to take 10 safety classes, but if it's your first time buying a firearm, applying for it, that should be mandatory.
But there's other countries that are safer. But I
think, like Switzerland, everybody, everyone from birth, that's their right, and they're taught in school how to shoot.
Even in Japan, you can leave your bicycle on a curb over there and just, like, and then come back
a week later. Yeah,
it's still sitting there.
Well, that's because, like, for argument's sake, I know someone who was close to me that went to South Korea for a trip, and started talking to the old timers and stuff like that, and they were telling them about, like, the years of how it became what it became, and it's like it's illegal to chew gum there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because back in the day, people would chew gum and drop it on the floor or stick it on poles, and the government was like, "This is crazy. There's chewing gum everywhere you look."
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they outlawed it. Now, if you get caught chewing it, it's not like you're going to get 50 lashes and go to jail for a year. They just write you a ticket.
Well, yes, stronger social safety nets. Other countries have better public services, which is true. Like, but there's also some of them are socialist countries.
Well, like for argument's sake, like if now those services, you're talking like medical services.
Yeah, medical, whatever.
Well,
like Canada has a really good social service thing,
but it takes forever to get anything done.
It takes everything, and you get really, really heavily taxed. So
Yeah.
there's, nothing is free. Okay,
Nothing is free.
Education costs. Many countries with free or lower cost of education. So the United States pays probably the most per pupil in the world for education.
New York, it was on the cover of the paper. It was $36,000 a year per student.
But we are at the bottom of the list.
Oh, I know.
Of educated.
54 out of like 55.
Like China, Japan,
Top
South
5.
Korea. Yeah, they're kicking our butts. We're at the bottom.
But you know why?
And the whole thing is we spend more money per. I don't want to ask you why.
There's only one reason. It's one reason, and it all happened during COVID. It's the teachers union.
Well, yeah, it could be teachers.
They shut it down.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like, and so I did a little research in this, and you guys, if you're watching this, tell me if you guys agree or disagree. But like some of our colleges, some of our schools, it gets a little political. I mean, it should be the basics: reading, writing, math.
Put it this way, and there's a thing like college is not for everybody to start with. Like, you don't need college should really narrow itself down to where you're going to be a lawyer, a doctor, you're going to need a teaching degree, certain things. I mean, I'm in the entertainment business. And granted, I went to school, I went to college, right? Because back when I went and you went, it was kind of like you had to go if you wanted to get a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like there was no if you didn't have a college degree, you weren't getting hired. I don't care what the job was.
Right.
Right. But now it's like you really don't need to do that. If you want to be in the entertainment business, you're better off never stepping foot on a college campus. And you'll be better off. I mean, if you're going to be an accountant, yes, you've got to be trained.
Yeah, doctor,
a lawyer, a doctor. So those, I mean, come on. There are people who go to school for theater. They go to college for 4 years for theater. That would be like this always amazed me. You get a kid that plays baseball, and then he goes to one of the big colleges that have a baseball team, and he plays baseball for them. Now, some of those kids actually make it to the pros. A majority of them don't. Same thing with like football. They play football at college and then they go to the pros. There's more kids that don't get into the pros and do. It should have been the way basketball was, because basketball used to take kids right out of high school, like a LeBron James, literally a Kobe Bryant, right out of high school. And it's like, if you're playing basketball, you don't need to go to 4 years of college. You're playing football, you don't need to go to 4 years of college.
If you're good, you're good.
But you can always go to college after, because college isn't like you need to do between 18 and 22. You can go to college when you're 50.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that I know a lot of kids saying, I'm going to take a year siesta, they never do it. So let me drop to the next division thing. Legal and immigration factors. Easier residency and citizenship options. Okay, now it's a little more difficult to come to the States than just walking across the border. Freedom to travel. Dual citizenship can make global travel easier.
I guess depending on what the country is, though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, favorable visa programs. Countries like Portugal, Spain, Costa Rica have attractive visas, for people to go there and check it out. Now we're going to go into personal and cultural reasons. Adventure and new experiences, which is the big one. That's what I was going to bring up at the end. And reconnecting with heritage. Like me, I wasn't born in Greece. My parents were from Greece. But, I speak the language fluently. I like going there. I feel like, I was brought up in the culture, even though I was from the United States. But yeah, those are the reasons, And the reason why I'm staying in Florida is because from traveling overseas and being born in Canada and traveling in Canada and living in multiple states, I figured out there's no perfect place to live.
No, there's not. There isn't. I mean,
and each place is unique for each person,
Yeah, I mean, like, put it this way, what we're doing right now here in Florida would be totally, and if it was just you and me, if we were doing this in Tennessee, it would be totally different.
Yeah, it would be totally different.
Even if we were doing this on the east coast of Florida, it would be totally different. So no place is perfect. No place is like where you need to be.
So I'm actually going to put a survey out, so watch out for that. Anyways, that's today's video. Do me a favor. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. And watch this video right here. I picked it out just for you guys. I think you'll enjoy it very much. And we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you and have a great day.